You want to catch the replays. What a wonderful talk we had with the founder of the Black Harlem Book Fair that's been going on for 26 years. Be a part of it. Be a part of what we're doing here on Black Business Network, the Black Business Olympics, the literary edition. You have a chance to be a part of that every month, the second week of the month. So definitely connect with us. Be a speaker. We also need moderators as well. You would want to be a part of this. I'm very excited about what the Black Business Literary Edition, the chance that we bring to spotlight your book, the chance that we get to educate you, the chance that you get to market. So definitely be a part of the Black Business Networks, the Black Business Olympics Literary Edition. We look forward for you to be a part. And remember, genius is common, and I'll see you on the other side.
The Black Business Network and Black Business Olympics are essential platforms for Black business owners globally. They provide the tools and support you need to succeed in today's competitive marketplace. Join us today as we collaborate together with businesses from around the world to support our children, students, and young future entrepreneurs, Black businesses and corporations. We raise funds for students going to college and young entrepreneurs who are aspiring to be business owners, and we invite you to be a contributor today. Visit the website www.blackbusinessexpousa.com to connect with and learn more about how the Black Business Network and Black Business Olympics can help you not only share your amazing business story to businesses, but also serve future generations. Hello, my name is David Jones, CEO and co-founder of the Hello LLC, where we help businesses build a culture, brand an experience, and leverage technology to pivot into Web3. Join the Black Business Network streaming live into Roku, Metaverse, STEM City, Black Multiverse Enterprises, Hulu, YouTube, iHeartRadio, Apple, Facebook, LinkedIn, Spotify, Twitch, and Google Podcasts. Tune in, turn on, and let's thrive.
Dr. Eric Kelly III and a host of phenomenal speakers from all around the globe for this 7-day virtual event that you don't want to miss.
The mission of the Black Business Expo is to raise scholarship money from kids all the way from high school, all the way from college. The Black Business Olympics is one of the largest Black business showcases in the world. It is an opportunity for businesses and companies to showcase their businesses globally. We are going to be giving away laptops up to $5,000 away to students. Again, I'm Olivia Appleberry, the founder of 2 Cents Finance and one of the speakers for the expo. I am so excited to see you there. For more info, go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090 and hope to see you there.
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Tell me, are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support black business because I am black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of black business in the world. The world! Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am black business.
I am black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am black business. I am black business. Are you black business? I am black business. Do you support black businesses? I support black business because I am black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-380-9090. I am black business. I am black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am black business. I am black business. Are you black business? I am black business. Do you support black businesses? I support black business because I am black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-380-9090. I am black business. I am black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am black business. I am black business. Are you black business? I am black business. Do you support black businesses? I support black business because I am black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-380-9090. I am black business. I am black business.
Are you a forward-thinking entrepreneur or business owner? The world is changing faster than ever, and it's time to pivot and adapt to the future. Hello LLC is here to help you do just that. Hello stands for helping enterprises leverage leading-edge optimizations. Our innovative solutions can streamline operations, reduce overhead costs, and give you a competitive edge in a market projected to reach $5 trillion by 2030. By pivoting to the metaverse, businesses can tap into a rapidly growing market that is projected to be a significant part of daily life for 25% of Americans by 2026. As a full digital metaverse agency, the Hello LLC can help you create custom solutions to streamline operations, increase productivity, reduce costs, and drive brand recognition. Why should you pivot to the metaverse with the Hello LLC? By leveraging cutting-edge technology, you can provide immersive experiences for your customers, expand your global reach, and unlock new revenue streams. Contact us today to make the pivot.
Points in the
Sometimes you got to hear the news from the Black perspective, and more specifically, Black publishers. And that's exactly why you have to download the Hey Tie app, the largest mobile app delivering breaking news, videos, and podcasts from 200 of your favorite Black publishers. Yes, 200 Black publishers delivering news as it happens, literally all in one app. Go to hayti.com or download the app in the Google Play Store or Apple App Store. It's completely free, along with information that you can trust, so go check them out.
Artist to me is a creative expression of something from nothing. You know, it explodes onto the canvas, or it explodes on in my work. One of the things that I try to do more than anything is I try to just give the lines and the movements and emotions and expressions into what I do. Art really means to me a chance to express how I feel deep down inside. Most of my art begins as a thought that I might have, you know, whether it's sports, whether it's history, whether it's a woman or a man. It pretty much starts as an idea of thought before I get into the actual image of what I'm going to draw. I do a lot of historical pieces. I was a history minor in college, and I love to do history pieces. And a lot of times I'm thinking about history, and then I try to make that history impact you as you look at it. That's one of the reasons I do pictures so large. People ask me, why do I do pictures so big? And I tell them, I want the piece to impact them as they're looking at it, to kind of dominate them, dominate their space. And most of my pieces I try to do off page. I don't try to do anything that's going to be in those four corners or in a square. And I want your imagination to be a part of the piece that you're looking at. The way I feel when I'm drawing, when I'm creating something, is I feel free. I feel like there is an anticipation of something that's going to come. I try not to draw first. I try to draw second. And what I mean by that is I try to allow myself to kind of get into the piece and just relax. Sometimes I miss time. I'll draw 2-3 hours, sometimes 4 hours. And while I'm drawing, it's just a free. I just feel free. I mean, I feel like time stands still. That's what it's all about in terms of the lines and the colors of my work, is to get an expression, to go deeper and past just what you see on the surface, but to go in and try to find an expression that everybody gets a different taste of what that expression is, whether it's anger or whether it's being happy or whether it's being, kind of calm or nonchalant. That expression that people take away from the piece is the most important part of what I do as an artist. Bold is the size of my pieces, where I try to do the piece larger than life, to kind of push forward toward you. That's what the boldness is all about. It's not so much about the lines, it's about the size. The Face of Change art show is inspired by my mother, but more importantly, it's a historical moment in time as the pieces depict different emotions and expressions of Barack Obama. The 44th president is indicative of the 44 pieces of art that I have done in this particular collection. When you begin to think about expressions and portraits, this is a portrait gallery of expressions of what transpired as Barack Obama ran for office. Some of the pictures are abstract and some are expressionistic. And I combined both of those forms of art to create this collection of art pieces. Overcomer, brilliant, ambitious, motivated, awesome, Obama.
Have you ever seen a parent stressed out and needed a stress reliever with their child? One morning I was coming out of a store and saw a mother and her 3 or 4-year-old son. She was highly upset, actually beginning to yell at him. However, the more upset she became, it seemed the calmer the child became. He sat down on the sidewalk, crisscross applesauce, folded his arms, and looked up at her with a smile. You see, the angrier she became, the calmer he became, because he had the control of the situation. Hi, I'm Frizelma Lynn. I am the CEO and founder of Frizelma Teaching Parents, LLC. I'm a retired teacher, school district administrator, an author, speaker, and I am the Parenting 911 coach. My mission is to rescue families by equipping parents with proven, effective, and practical strategies to enhance their parenting skills. Many times we as a society expect parents to teach, train, and raise their children without providing the necessary tools they need to accomplish this. However, parenting issues cannot be resolved without intervention. Therefore, Frizelma Teaching Parents has provided coaching programs, digital courses, and live webinar trainings to provide step-by-step research-based parenting strategies, even for parents whose children are disrespectful, defiant, for those who have been diagnosed with ADD and ADHD, and even for parents of adult children. No longer will you have the need to feel like you are a failure as a parent. You'll now have the tools needed for each situation. Trust me on this one. Go to www.parenting911.org. Book a 15-minute strategy session with me or choose one of the coaching programs. Our training helps parents relieve stress.
I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black business. I am Black business. Tell me, are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo. one of the largest business showcases in the history of black business in the world. The world! Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black Business.
Good morning, business owners, entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and corporations. Welcome to the Black Business Network. My name is Renata Brown. I am your business moderator for this morning on the Black Business Network. The Black Business Network is a 24-hour business network showcasing Black businesses, business owners, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders worldwide. We have speakers from North Carolina, London, Singapore, Africa, Japan, and cities all over the United States. The Black Business Network is a global community sharing its business knowledge to empower, inspire, and educate businesses about business. Our keynote speaker for our next hour is Doc Amy. An African-American author and motivational speaker, Edward Amy, known publicly as Doc Amy, was born February 9th, 1980 in Galveston, Texas. Doc published his first book at the age of 36, where he wrote his autobiography, Kept. Doc is a father of 4 children. At an early age, his life began on the streets of Texas City, Texas, with the life of crime. His life was a slippery slope that eventually saw him go to prison 3 times before the age of 29. A children's pastor leaves an impression. By the age of 28, Doc found himself at a major turning point in his life as he pleaded with God to change his circumstance in prison, and he vowed to change his life. Saturday morning prayer group led him to discover a friendship, later to become one of the most important mentors in his life. Terry McLacon's friendship helped cultivate Christian living through his life and helped Doc find his identity in Christ. His personal story makes him a living example of hope and redemption, teaching and sharing his life journey, pitfalls, and mistakes made with the hope that he can empower today's youth to embrace change and to do more for themselves. He is currently a motivational speaker for civic groups, at-risk students, Rotary clubs, youth groups, high school, and most recently, Man Up Youth Conference at the College of the Mainland. We're so happy to have Doc join us this morning.
Hey, how y'all doing today?
We are great. How are you?
Oh man, I'm blessed all as well. I can't complain one bit. I just thank God for you guys having me, and I appreciate it very much.
Well, thank you for being here. And remember, genius is common, and I'll see you on the other side.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I just want to talk a little bit about my book and how I got to where I'm at. Actually, me starting out as wanting to be an author was nowhere in the plans, because me growing up, going to school, stuff like that, I didn't even like school. So me growing up to be an author actually wasn't even in the plans. And so just a little bit about me real quick, what drove me to that. My biological father was murdered when I was 6 months old. My mom was on drugs when I was very young. And so me and my brother had to move with my grandmother. And by the age of 11, I became a product of my environment. By the age of 13, I dropped out of school. I thought I was going to smoke weed, rap, and sell drugs for the rest of my life. And so I went down a windy road of getting in trouble, started having kids very early in my life, started going to prison at the age of 21. By the age of 28, I was sitting in prison for the 3rd time cleaning up hog mess as a job. And that's when I went in the corner and I cried out to God and I said, God, if you real, like everybody say that you are real, then you'll get me out of this. And so life happened. I ended up getting out of prison. I started going to church and I turned my life around. And I was at a church service, and a guy named Luke Holter. They had some prophets at the church that night. A guy named Luke Holter, he brought me up. He started praying over me, and he told me, he said, everything that you have in you needs to be put out for the world to see. So you're going to write a book, and you're going to tell of the story of the hurt, the pain, the frustration, and everything that you went through, and you're going to give it to them, the whole world. And so I was, I thought about it, I soaked it in, but I never really realized that one day I might actually become an author. And so a few months down the road, I ended up getting laid off from a job. And I can just remember sitting at home just wondering, like, man, what's my next step? What should I do? And I can just remember this guy telling me that I was going to write a book of my story. And so I remember just getting one of those yellow notepads, and I just started jotting down everything. I mean, everything that I could think of, I just started jotting it down. I mean, and so this is a word for anybody out there, right? You getting ready to start writing a book. Listen, just start. That's all you got to, man. I didn't have no grammar. I mean, I had one long, complete sentence from the beginning to the end. It was no grammar. It wasn't no question marks, wasn't no capital letters, none of that, right? And I just put everything on paper. And then my pastor's mom, she took it and she actually went through it and put grammar in it for me, right? And then we had a school teacher that went to our church. She took it and she actually made it a story where it made sense. And so after I wrote my book, I started the ministry, Lost and Found Ministries. And I deemed myself to start reaching back to our youth, because if you think about it right now, our youth, it's a pandemic for them right now, right? And there's not a lot of people that are able to actually speak to them where you can get a message in their ear down to their hearts. And so that's what I based it, because a lot of the stuff that I went through is when I was young. And so now I have a males mentorship group that I do in one of the middle schools here in Texas City. I travel back to the detention centers and go speak in the detention centers, and I go back to the prison. But my main focus now with my business, with Doc Amy Speaks and Closing a Dream, is to reach back to the youth and to help them understand that it doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter what you've been through. It doesn't matter the last name, the color of your skin. None of that matters. The only thing matters is, what do you believe, right? And as people, we have to know that the Creator has placed something inside of each one of us. We all have a story to tell. And when we realize that we can turn our pain into purpose and turn our purpose into profits, then you realize that everything that you've ever went through in your whole life to this very moment, God is going to use all of that, because everybody is a blank canvas when we're all born, and we all have a story to tell. We all have a book to write. So I'm actually writing another book as we speak right now called Close and a Dream, right? And Closing a Dream is a story of me. I was married, and I was married for a few years. We had a beautiful house out in Lago Mar subdivision, and the marriage didn't work. And we had like $112,000 in equity in our home, and I didn't fight for it. I woke up one morning and I was in the shower, and I heard the Lord say, "Closing a Dream." And I said, "What is that?" He said, "You're going to take the clothes that you have, and you're going to take the dream in your heart, that one day you will be one of the top motivational speakers, and you will be able to tell the world where you came from, what you've been through, and how you didn't quit, and how you continually go and you grind and you put in the work that needs to be put in. You put in the plans and the SOPs and the LOPs, so you can have principles and you can have all of these different things that you need. But you got to remember that at the end of the day, that you can do anything that you believe that you can do." And so me coming from where I come from and being an author that will one day be one of the have a New York Times best-selling book, I truly believe that people need to know my story and to see my story and to understand that, like right now, I still don't even like to write, right? I just thank God for ChatGPT and all of these other apps that I can speak into now, and it writes exactly what I need to write. But I know there's somebody somewhere that has a story that they're sitting on, and they believe that it won't help nobody, that they won't do. Listen, right? They told us that, and this is something that was told to me whenever I was in prison. They said if you want to keep something from a black man, you put it in a book, because they believe that we don't read, right? And so you got to understand that your brain and learning how to read and the different things that we need to do to better ourselves as people together, right? We need these different literacy tools, right? We need the different things that we need to be able to grow and help each other as a community. And so me embracing change in my life and deciding that, you know what, I will put these pains on paper for the world to see. And I didn't hold no punches back. And I did not order none in time, because this interview and this opportunity came to me at such short notice, and I just grabbed it by the horns, because I believe that every opportunity that the Creator is presenting to us as people, we need to take those opportunities and we need to give it everything that we got, because opportunities nowadays, they're kind of hard to come by. So whenever it was presented to me, I absolutely jumped on it. And I thank God for the Black Business Network for seeing something in me and saying, hey, we've read and we heard about you, and we see, and we want to expose you to our network of people, and to show people all over the world that even a young Black man at 44 years old from Texas City, Texas, whose biological father was murdered when he was 6 months old, mom was on crack when he was 5, had to move with his grandmother and became a product of his environment at 11 years old, now sits in a seat in his own home and is on his way to being one of the top motivational speakers in the world, because he didn't quit, right? Because we already have greatness inside of us. If you think about everything that we went through to get to where we at, we have overcome in our DNA. We are built to win, because if we was going to lose, we would have lost back there. But we kept on fighting. We kept on grinding. We kept putting a plan together, and we kept on evolving, and we're getting greater by the second. And us as people, we need to start coming together, because we are all we got. We are all that we got, and we realize us as a people come together with the resources, right? With the mentality, with the strength, with the influences that we have, we can do some major things, man. And we have to get out of the crab in the bucket syndrome that a lot of our people in our communities have when our communities are hurting. And if we don't start reaching and grabbing back to our communities, you got to realize we are the only ones that's going to reach back for us. Nobody's really reaching back for us unless it's benefiting them, right? And some of us doing the same thing to us. The only way we reaching back to some of us is if it's benefiting us. And we got to start looking at things different. And we got to start being entrepreneurs and Black men, Black strong men, showing these young men how real Black men act, right? Pull our pants up. And I used to be a part of the culture. That's why I know that it's meant for me to go back into the community and reach the at-risk youth and reach the young Black men and show them that it doesn't matter where you come from. And so for me to have these opportunities and to come and give my story and to show people where I come from, it's a blessing and it's an honor every opportunity that I get to come and do this. And again, I want to thank Black Business Network for giving me this opportunity. Comments in the chat. And so, okay. So some people may wonder, how did I go about writing my book? Like I said, I put it all together, and it took me like 2 weeks to write the book, right? I just put a whole bunch of a bunch of everything, all my thoughts on paper, and I just wrote it down. I wrote everything down, and I was able to put all my thoughts on paper, and I was able to hand it off to somebody. So if that's you out there and you're trying to figure out and you wonder, what steps do I need to take? How can I do this? Because it's really easier than you realize. I was able to self-publish. And so I don't have any inventory. I can reach out and I can order as many copies or as many copies that I need to get them wherever they need to go. And I don't have to order a certain amount and hold on to inventory. So there's so many different ways that you as a author and a writer can write these books. And what really truly inspired me to write my book, when I started realizing everything that I went through and I was putting this stuff on paper and I was looking at it and I'm seeing all of this stuff and I'm like, whoa, that really happened. That's real life, right? And so I think when you sit down and you're able to do a self-evaluation and go back over your life and see all the things that you went through and you're able to put them on paper, it'll start helping you, give you some direction for your life and the ways that you need to go and the things that you need to do. And so the book that I'm writing now, Closing a Dream, it's a very, very it's still being wrote. It's still being wrote as we speak, because it's a book about me deciding to make a pivot in my life and all the steps that I took from going from nothing again, because nothing from nothing leaves nothing, and I've already been from nothing. And so when I had to make that departure, this book will be about what I went through, the steps that I took, the connections that I made, and the things that I was able to do in my life to actually show the whole world that it doesn't matter where you come from, man. And so again, I thank God for these opportunities that I continually get to be able to come and show the things that God is doing in my life, right? And one thing that I've learned as a man and as a Black man, that if you want to go far, you can't go by yourself. And as a man, we have to start really opening up. We got to start venting. We got to start talking to each other. We got to start working with each other. And we have to start doing things that are going to benefit other people, even when it don't benefit us. And coming together and putting our ideas together and walking together and strengthening each other. Because at the end of the day, as men, we are called to lead, protect, and provide, right? And a lot of times us as men, we're not doing that. We're letting the women step up and do that, right? And so I thank God for every opportunity that I get, because I get to take the excuses off of a lot of people of why they can't do a certain thing and what happened if they try to do this. And I get to take the excuses off of a lot of people to show them that it doesn't matter where you come from, right? And so with these different networks that are out there in the world, the Black Business Network and all of these other different networks that are giving us opportunities to display our skills, our talents, and everything that we have to sow into these kind of networks, right? We have to show the support that they need so they can continue thriving, right? Because they're giving other people opportunities to show people, because guess what? A whole network of people would have never knew about Edward Amy if Black Business Network wouldn't have put the opportunity out to say, hey, we've heard that you're a speaker. We heard that you're a pretty good speaker. We want to give you an opportunity to come on our network, right? And speak to our community. Tell them who you are. Tell them where you've been. Tell them what you do. Tell them about your business, right? And so when we have business like this, we have to support these businesses, man. We got to do, like, it's amazing that as people coming from where we come from and everything that we've been through, right? We can still stand strong and continually do the things we need to do to evolve and be greater as a people.
Oh, thank you. I love your passion. Your passion jumps right through the screen. You got that. I am hyped. I want to get my story out. Definitely. Thank you for sharing. And so you were, you went through the whole being in prison and coming out and writing your story. What are some of the tips you would give other men that are going through the same process? What has it meant for you internally to tell your story?
it meant a whole lot to me because I see a lot of people that come from where I come from and they let certain roadblocks stop them from moving forward. And I just, my advice to them is pick a direction and go, right? Because nothing is going to come easy and every day of your life is a journey. And so once you pick a direction and you go, if you just keep going and don't stop, then you will never lose and quit. A lot of times we hit road, especially coming from where I come from, where you're trying to get a job because you don't really have a lot and they telling you that we can't hire you because you got a felony. And the only other thing you can do is go back to where you come from, where all of this is going on. And then you have to make a decision when you're there. Do I keep trying or do I just go back to what I know and keep doing that? And so, and it's easy to just go back and keep doing that. But what are the consequences if you get jammed up again doing that? Then you back down to prison and having to do it all over again. So my biggest advice is, man, just pick the right direction and keep going. Don't quit.
Now, what has been the response in the community? Because people might know you from that other life. Like I'm from Long Beach. I know all about that life. What has been some of the reaction to them for you writing the book? What has been some of the response? I know you're new in the process, but what has been that response? And answering that question, also a follow-up question, what has been the response from your children as well?
Oh, that's a very, very good one, right? So the response for me writing the book, like I say, I published it in 2016. I got some great feedback. A lot of people, they got to see like the real deal, Holyfield. I didn't hold no punches back. I put it all in there, me shooting my brother, everything. I put the raw and the real in there. And I got a lot of great feedback because people see me and they know where I come from, and it really blesses them because they know. And I tell them God is no respecter of a person. If he can do it for me, he can do it for you. You just got to believe it. And so honestly, with my kids, especially my older ones, it's a little different, right? Because I wasn't really there for them. I started having kids at 17 years old, right? And I didn't really start getting my life together and to start doing the right thing until I was 29 years old, sitting in prison, right? And so then when I get out, I'm trying to fix things, trying to get things right, but still not mending that relationship. And a lot of it is on me. I should have been going because they are the kids, right? But I'm still not really going back and mending it the way that I should be. So it's still some hurt and still some frustration and some anger there. And only time can heal those wounds. I've been reaching. I do the best that I can, but I'm at a point in my life, right? Energy is real, right? It can't be created. It can't be destroyed. It can only be transferred. And where I'm at in my life, I can't be around no negative energy. I don't care if it's my mama. Like if you want some negative stuff, I'm gonna holler at you when you get out of that. And I don't care who it is, man, because I know where negative energy gets me. It put me in a headspace that I don't like because I used to deal with anger. And so when I get mad and I get frustrated, if I go there, it's gonna be hard to pull me back. So I subtract myself from any environment that is not add no positivity to my life. And I don't care who it is.
So with your writing process, so you had the book that came out in 2016, and you had the new book. I love the title. I love that. Closing a Dream. Because sometimes we just got to get up and move and keep on moving. So from the last process to this process, I know you talked about it a little bit, but what have been some of the changes in your writing process? Because at first you were just writing from look, I have a story to tell. It may not sound good. It may not be grammatically correct, but I'm going to get my story out. And so what are some of the changes now, these years later, that in your writing process from when you first started?
So now I already got somebody from the ground floor before I even start writing. I got somebody already that I could just shoot it to, and they putting it down for me. I already formulating it. Like I say, this book is still being wrote as we speak, right? Because I left in October 2022. Divorce was final in April of 2023. And so this book is actually still being wrote as we speak.
Okay. Well, that's a good place to be. I work with a lot of authors on my platforms. I used to teach a class, we're talking about this morning, saying you gave birth to the book, now you have to raise it. Because as writers, we're passionate, right? We just want to get
Yeah.
the story out. But a lot of times, writing, I always say that the writing is a passion, but being an author is a business. And it's such a great opportunity with all the tools that are out there now to really
Yes.
understand the business of being an author, because you got the book now. What are you going to do with it? And I love to get authors when they're at that point. And the last guest we had was um, the founder of the Harlem Book Fair. And I love some of the jewels that he left with us in that session before about surrounding yourself with a team of people who get it done. So you mentioned something, Chat GPT. Now, Chat GPT, for those who don't know, is an AI tool. And if you don't know, I don't know where you've been. And so Chat GPT has been a help. How much have you leaned on it? And what are some of the takeaways that you would say for I'm gonna let you answer that, and then I'm gonna answer it myself. Okay.
Say, listen, this is how much I've leaned on Chat GPT. So last year I was working at a school. For whatever reason, they changed the program that I was working for and they switched it up, right? And I realized that when you give people the power to feed you, you give them the power to starve you. I sat down with one of my brothers. He helped me build a whole curriculum for a males mentorship group called Be the Change Over Behavior, Leadership Skills, and Life Skills. And I actually go into the middle school and teach that curriculum that I built on Chat GPT. So it's been a great help. So I'm able to speak in words that I want that in my mind, but then it spit it out in a way that people can read it. And so like you say, I don't know where they've been at if they ain't been on Chat GPT.
Yeah, and it's important because we are in that gap where technology, we want to use it as a tool, but we don't want to use it as being our voice. And it's important when writers use that, which it seems like you have, that you understand that it's a tool and not a substitute for that. And
Right.
it's going to be interesting. I'm glad I'm not a college professor, or I'm not writing papers, because now we're in a situation where AI models are very challenging. I know we had all the APA rules and citation rules that we had to go on, and we have to be careful when we use this technology. So
Yeah.
I'm working on the second edition of my second book, and I ran one of my chapters through Chat GPT just to kind of see what it would spit out. I wrote the whole chapter and then I ran it through there. And one of the things I talked about was the way I do laundry, and I separate my blacks from my whites, my colds from my hots, and I have a whole system. I'm getting better now. It just take me like 5 loads. I'm going somewhere with this story. So I talked about that process in chat, and I put it in Chat GPT, and it spit out that I segregate my laundry between yes, exactly, the blacks and the white. So I share that story with people to let them know these are tools, but you still have to go back and fine tune, because especially as an African American woman, I do not want to talk about that I segregate my laundry between the black and white. So that really is a great illustration of how we can use these tools, but we still can't totally lean on them to be our voice and to make sure that they got it right, because they're a blessing. I have 3 magazines, and I have 4 websites that I maintain. So there's a lot of copies, and I'm always posting on social media between our platforms and the different things that we do. So Chat GPT from that standpoint has been absolutely amazing. But what it taught me with that instance of my book, that these are tools
That's
and
it.
they are not to be
Yeah, they're not the
replaced.
final. You got it. Yeah,
Yes. But they
absolutely.
give people a chance to refine their voice. And that's the beautiful thing. And it sounds like how you use technology. Now, have you thought about reaching back and helping other men write books?
So I actually got two young men that I'm helping write a book right now. One of them actually lived through Katrina, where he had to
Okay.
sit on the roof for 2 or 3 days before people came and got him. And it's just, and I told him we got to write that. People need to hear that story, man, because it's a lot of Katrina evacuees that can relate to that story. And so yeah, I got one young man doing that. But I think I've really showed a lot of people, and I've inspired many others that yeah, no matter where you come from, you can get it done.
Well, that's good because it's so important, especially in the time that we're living in now around books and literacy and about in particular, our Black stories not being told and that revisionist history. So it is very important now more than ever that we do have books, we do have examples, and we are telling our stories, whatever that story may look like. Uh, that we are reaching back and we are letting people know our stories and getting our stories out there and encouraging reading. Reading will change your life. It will
Man,
absolutely change your life. And we look to the kids as our future, which is a beautiful thing, but we need to look to our peers too, because they are the people that are raising the future.
yeah, no, absolutely.
Sometimes we're not looking brother to brother. And if my thing is, we change the parents and the parents model that behavior, then we're going to raise a generation that is way ahead of where some of us have started from.
Yeah.
And sometimes we leave the parents behind or we leave the caretakers behind, but we need to reach out to them. So I love that you're working with other young people as well. Like the older I get, everybody gets younger. So, but
Yeah.
with other people as well to bring them up. And we thank you for stopping by today and sharing your story and sharing your passion. And I believe you're going to, you're lighting stages on fire already, and just continue in your journey with the books and just buckle down and learn the business of being an author as well, and surround yourself with that team and make sure that you do the things in marketing that will get your voice out, because it's from that passion to understanding the business of being an author and understanding so that the books that you develop will have a legacy, and that it won't be like they did in the old days in the music where you're putting out all this content, but you're not understanding that, owning that concept. So
Yeah.
continue to surround yourself with good people that will stir up. And I'm going to be looking for you. I'm going to remember that. It might not be Edward, but I'm going to be looking for Doc Amy. Okay.
Oh, hey, listen, you ain't gonna have to look long. I promise you that.
Oh, absolutely. I believe that. Well, we thank you for stopping by. We thank you for sharing this time with us. And just remember, genius is common. Check that out. And we'll see you on the other side.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Wow, that was we've just been having a good time here this morning, haven't we? We have been talking to so many interesting people from all different phases in the writing journey. But let's not forget why we're here as well. We are here to help scholars. The Black Business Expo's mission is to raise funds for high school seniors going to college or K through 12 entrepreneurs. The Expo is a fundraiser for students. You may go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com to donate to the scholarship fund, or use the Cash App. that's on the screen, $BBX USA. Our goal is to give laptops to up to $5,000 to 10 students. Students can register online at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com. I want you to know that every single dollar counts. We want to remind you to donate to the scholarship fund. We also want to thank our Black Business Expo USA sponsors for February 2024, and they are NC-100, Moody Capital Partners, Suede Soul, Lotus Ritchie Coaching and Training, Carolina, Virginia Minority Supplier Development Council, Step Management, The Hello LLC, Barbara H. Smith LLC, Margie McLean Foundation Incorporated, Genius is Common, 5-Star VDM Media, Earth Essentials, Mullane Shani Global, Executive Woman Success Institute, The Quality Coaching Company, Superwoman Business Services, Creative Force Studios, Lee Entertainment, Artistic App Design, Black Business Expo USA. Remember, genius is common. I will see you on the other side.
Over the past few years, we've seen the growth of existing and new initiatives focused on financial inclusion, building global networks, and reducing the wealth gap in response to the idea there's not enough seats at the table. Whether their outcomes are to increase the representation of Black executives on corporate boards, ensure an inclusive global economy, or to create new U.S. African commercial pathways, the strategies are often carried out by separate programs. The question is, should they be? With the continent of Africa being home to more than half of the world's fastest growing economies, the youngest workforce, over 400 companies generating more than $1 billion annually, 700 generating more than $500 million annually that are poised for growth, and being the destination of nearly $5 billion in venture capital in 2021. Diversifying U.S. and Africa commercial engagement by building bridges between African businesses and their U.S. diaspora should begin being seen as mutually beneficial. From helping to reduce Africa's enormous capital gap to catalyzing two-way trade opportunities, the COVID-19 global pandemic hopefully has taught us that global challenges and opportunities are more interconnected than we thought. During the pandemic, African companies like Unicorn Flutterwave, insurance provider Reliance Health, ride-hailing app Yasir, and 54 Gene, the continent's first bank of DNA on people of African descent, proved that when African companies have access to networks, capital, and information, they grow big, grow fast, and create solutions that are valuable to the world. This is why Be Direct was created. We are the first U.S.-based but African-centric board preparedness and board search company designed to connect U.S. Black talent and corporations to African businesses. Unique and fundamental to Be Direct's success is our process of helping board candidates adapt their experience and networks to an African context before they're connected to high-growth companies that are looking to locally and globally scale. From our focus groups with African business execs and government leaders, we don't ignore the sentiment that business is easy, but people are hard. Having a pool of board candidates with hard-to-access networks and extensive experience across the business life cycle, including successfully raising capital, is table stakes for an initiative like this. So yes, we have that. But corporate or entrepreneurial success in the U.S. does not guarantee success in Africa. Developed alongside industry partners on the continent, our training program, Be Direct Prep, is designed to transpose their experience to create cultural comfort, understanding, and a commitment to helping businesses in Africa scale. Our board governance sessions are African, continental, and country-specific, integrated with cultural awareness and dexterity training, masterclasses led by African industry execs, and mentoring and coaching from African continental-based facilitators. But even more unique to Be Direct Prep, we cap off our training program with an immersion trip to help candidates that have not been to Africa before see and feel Africa's complexity and opportunity from African soil. We all know traditional network-based board placement has historically left a lot of us out of ever really being in the paid board pipeline. Our strategy supports the work of many great organizations that are successfully filling seats at U.S. board tables by creating more tables for those that are still left on the sideline. It's time to start seeing the role and value of U.S. Black talent and businesses on the continent of Africa differently. Old perceptions and habits limit economic inclusion. Let's transition Black talent and the African businesses they will support from the periphery of the global economy to its core. Living in a global lockdown, we all know now how fast local and global economies can change, and see the value of having businesses that hire, strengthen local value chains, and even grow globally. Status quo in any form holds back progress. We must democratize U.S.-Africa commercial engagement by socially and economically connecting cultures that have long been disconnected. It's time for Africa's U.S. diaspora to redefine their global value by helping African businesses scale continentally and globally.